Hello, my name is Ursula Amatrudo, and this is my Early Literacy 1 Final Unit Plan presentation. For my Final Unit Plan presentation, I focused my lessons on the pre-kindergarten age group, meaning that the children are 4 to 5 years old. And the focus of this lesson unit is distinguishing the roles of author versus illustrator, which according to New York State Common Core pre-kindergarten standards, the children should be able to, with guidance and support, identify the roles of the author and the illustrator and compare and contrast them. My first lesson plan in this unit is called Student, Student, What Do You See?, which is mirrored after the book Brown Bear, What Do You See? By Bill Martin Jr. and Eric Carle. In order to complete this lesson, students will first, with the help of the teacher, talk about what they know about author versus illustrator. Where have they heard these words before? Do they know what these words mean? Have they ever met an author or illustrator? Maybe someone in their family writes or illustrates for books. This discussion will be had on the rug before breaking up into any groups. After talking about authors versus illustrators, the students will listen to the teacher read Brown Bear, and then for more audio learners, so children who learn more audioly than visually by looking at the book, we will be listening to Brown Bear, What Do You See?, the song. After this, the children will be invited to pretend to be authors and illustrators of their own, while mirroring their own Brown Bear book called Student, Student, What Do You See? In order to make this book, students will need help from either the head or assistant teacher, and this should be done in very small groups, perhaps 2 or 3 students at a time. In order to make this book possible, the teacher will need to scribe the title and most words of the book, as it is not developmentally expected or appropriate yet for children to be able to write full sentences. So the title of the book, Student, Student, What Do You See?, has been scribed by the teacher, and the student here has written her own name, as she did know how to write her own name, therefore what a great place to use it than on the cover of her own book. The student also has drawn all the pictures. So the student started the book, Student, Student, What Do You See? Once again mirroring Brown Bear, What Do You See? I see the class pet looking at me. I, of course, scribed this book as, once again, developmentally appropriate for the child not to be able to do so, and the child drew this wonderful picture of our class pet. On the next page, we have Class Fish, What Do You See? I see the elf on the shelf looking at me. Once again, I scribed the words, and the student drew the elf on the shelf. At the end of the lesson, students will get to present their book to the class or pass their book around so that the students can see the work that their author and illustrator friends in the class have come up with. This can also be taken home by the students or kept for display in the classroom, really, the teacher's decision. The following day, the students will have another lesson about author and illustrator called Calling All Authors and Illustrators, or Calling All Bookmakers. The students for this lesson plan will begin on the rug with the head and the assistant teacher. In order to complete this lesson, you will definitely need 2 teachers, which is common for a pre-kindergarten classroom. Children will get to pick which team they want to be on. Do they want to be on the author team and help write the book? Or do they want to be on the illustrator team and help illustrate or draw the pictures for the book? While on the rug, the teacher will help all of the students determine the plot of the story. They'll talk about who's going to be in the book. They will not be writing the book at this time. They're just going to pick a general plot line, such as there's a princess in a tower and she needs to be saved. There's a little girl and she's waiting for her sister to be born. A general plot line will be selected. The students will break up into 2 groups. The author group will go on to start writing the book, with the teacher's help, of course. Oh, on this page, this should happen, and this is how it should be said. While the illustrator group with the other teacher will begin designing the cover work. It is very important for the illustrator group not to begin drawing the pictures until they have the written words of the book, as then the pictures will not match the words. Once this activity is complete, one of the teachers will button the book together and the story can be read to the class. This is a great activity to do with the students, as it really fosters a group connection and it shows that we can all work together to make a book. An assessment tool for this at the end of the lesson plan is to come up with a worksheet such as the one listed here. There will be two versions of this worksheet, of course, as there will be an author group and an illustrator group. This worksheet has room for the student's name, and it says, I was the author, and then the teacher will help describe what the child did as the author. So this one says, I was the author, I told the story with my words. Then the student will draw a picture as showing how they told the story with their words. So as you can see, the little girl drew a picture of herself, and part of pre-writing, while she didn't write any actual words, she did string together a series of letters showing that she was using her words. Another student, Chris, was on the illustrator team. So his worksheet says, I was the illustrator. I drew the pictures on the cover. So clearly Chris was in charge of cover art for the story. He drew a wonderful picture of the book with some cover art on it. Thank you very much for listening to my video presentation of my unit plan. I hope that you can implement these lesson plans in your classroom one day. Thank you very much. Have a great day.